Warning: the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Geoguessr. We're doing Canada, and we're doing 3 minutes. If you guys were one of the first to view last episode, the link got changed as a suggestion based on the fact that there were 2 locations that were generally the same and all close together. So hopefully this one is a little bit more diverse and will show us a little bit more than what we were expecting. Now, we do have a road right here. It's something 120. I can't even read it. I think it's the Trans Highway 120. But we got some farmland. And with farmland, I'm thinking the middle of Canada. I'm not necessarily thinking over towards Ontario and Toronto. Definitely probably not the French province. So I'm thinking more like Alberta and Saskatchewan and Manitoba. So that's where I'm thinking right now. I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong. But for sale industrial land. They still fucking sell that shit? Now, based on how we did in that UK one, I'm not expecting us to do so well everywhere else. Maybe we'll find something, maybe we won't, but it looks like we're on the Trans-Canadian Highway, but the difference is going to be whether or not we guess the right province. Now, a lot of Canada, I think, I don't know personally, I've only really ever been to Niagara Falls, but what I think of Canada, I think of exactly what you see now. It's a lot of wide open spaces, but there's no snow. And usually with Canada, when you think of Canada, at least when I think of Canada, I think of cold and snow and all that nonsense. Especially since I have a friend who lives where they get like 12 feet of snow on average, which, if you think about it, is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to find too much of anything. We did find a town. We are coming up to one. But we only got 20 fucking seconds. So we're not going to get too much of anything. Looks like it's just me a good wild guess. Important intersection. 10 seconds. This is an important intersection. Fuck. Outside of Calgary. That was one of the best guesses I could have fucking done. We were literally outside of Calgary. Alright, 4,459 points. And then we have McNally Creek. Interesting. Can I read what that is? Something... Memorial? It's hard to see it. It really is. And it doesn't help that I'm fucking blind. God. I guess we're gonna go north. North seems like a great idea, at least to me. I don't even fucking... What the fuck, man? Like, this is very similar to where we just were. The only difference is this has a bunch of trees. So, it's probably going to be a different county. So we're not going to be over by Calgary. This would probably be the Saskatchewan. So that's... Learning Canada is probably going to be helpful. I would think so, at least. I would hope, at least. But it seems a lot more open. As you can see, there's literally just... From what we can see, horizon... There's no settlements. It's a fucking road in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere. And that's what I think of when I think of Canada. Now, I'm pretty sure Canada's population is like 42 million. And it has about roughly the same surface area as the United States, which has a population of like 350 million. I think my state, I live in New York. I think my state has like 3/4 of the population of Canada in a fraction of the fucking size. So it's part of the reason I think of Canada as this big, wide open, you know, space. It's kind of like how you imagine Russia if you're from the EU. I'm imagining, because Russia, you got the civilized parts, you know, the major cities, and then you have all that wide open land in Siberia, where maybe people exist, and maybe, you know, they don't. And you're hoping that, you know, maybe you recognize one of those places that nobody fucking exists. Alright. Next 50 kilometers. A bay under construction. Interesting. Department of Transportation. Doesn't tell us where, though. So, again, another round where we're literally not finding too much of anything. I'm actually going to go Alberta, and I'm going to go closer to Edmonton. And it was in the territories, actually. Nice. I would have never known. I would have never fucking known. So, it looks like we are going into the territories as well, which means we could go fucking real far up. Alright. Next round. Max Creek. Interesting. Now it's all about choosing which way to go. We're literally not finding too much of anything to help us on our journeys. So, just keep that in mind moving forward. We're really... Either I'm missing hints, which I have been, don't get me wrong. Previous episodes, I don't know so much about today so far, especially since it's just been empty open spaces. But I have been missing some hints, and I do have to pay attention a little bit more. But as of right now, as far as I can tell, there's no way we haven't seen what we came here to see. Like, there's no green signs telling us, you know, Toronto is 400 kilometers. There's no highway signs telling us what highway number we're on. We found, I think, one speed limit sign, and it was 80 kilometers, which I think that's like 55-ish, roughly. That's like roughly what it translates to. But it's not like I could use that. You know, it's not like Texas where it's 85 miles per hour. I could be like, oh, here's another speed limit sign. 70 kilometers an hour. What does this sign say? Mon Lake Road. Now, I'm sure this sign means something. The white and green, right? The white and green diamond. No idea what this means. So, it could be helpful to those of you who may be Canadian. Those of you from Canada. Those of you who actually studied what street signs mean. But, you know, being in New York myself, we don't give two fucks about the rules of the road. Another speed limit sign, 80 kilometers an hour. Dude, we haven't even seen, like, other cars. That's where you draw the fucking line. Like, adopt a highway. Okay, Ontario. So, they do have it in other places but the United States. I know some of you were saying you didn't know anything about this, but it looks like they do have it in at least Canada as well. Now, this is the Ontario, so it's somewhere in here. We're not going to the city. I don't even think there's a city of Ontario. Is there? Would make sense, right? Toronto. No, yeah, it's just this. It's like the state. It's like if you call Kansas City the state, but there's like 4 of them. But we didn't find any highway signs. We didn't find anything like that. The only thing that really gave it away is that Ontario thing. I would probably go north, right? Fuck it. We're gonna go over here. Not bad. 4,084 points. Current leader got 995. You went over to Quebec, which is a French speaker. So, 4 out of 5. We're almost gonna break 10 grand, which definitely a lot better than we did yesterday with Great Britain, the UK. But still, this is tough, man. It is tough. I will say it's either we got a really tough seed, which is completely possible. We're on North 59, so we could be on a very difficult seed, and that's why we're not finding shit. That's why no one's finding shit, Because based on these guesses, it's safe for me to assume that you guys aren't finding anything and you're just guessing like I am. So here's another adopt a highway sign. New Folden E Free Church. No idea. Don't ask questions. It's kind of like pickleball. I didn't ask too many questions about that and then threw it in my fucking thumbnail. So, kilometer 374. So we got to be somewhat pretty far away from society. And I'm pretty sure it was 59. But we could always go back to the start and figure that out if we don't find anything else going this way. But I figured if we're on a route and it's 59, we should probably be going south. So let's return to start. Let's go back to this road. Figure out what number it was. 59. And let's head south. Because the majority of Canada is on the southern part on the border near the United States. So it would make sense for us to go south. Now we only have a minute. And here's another adopt a highway sign. And it's still the same church. No big deal. But I was hoping that maybe we would get some more information. We do have some farmland. So I could probably guess around the same area I guessed for our first guess. But we're not getting any like set in stone locations. This is definitely a lot harder than the first. Well, not the first, but this is definitely a lot harder than I would even like a world map, right? Like the world map, at least we could find languages. But you know, I have a feeling that if we play a Russia map, which we probably will at one point, I have a feeling if we do one of those Russian maps, it's gonna be a shit show, and we're really not gonna do too well. Mainly because we're gonna be putting in a lot of locations, and even if we did find anything with a language, it's not like I understand Russian anyway, so we wouldn't do so well. Let's see if we can find 59 real quick. We don't have too much time. 35. We have 10 seconds. So 59, 56, perfect. What? Hold on. This isn't Canada. At all. Guys. This isn't Canada. Click something I wasn't supposed to. Doesn't change the fact that that wasn't fucking Canada. That was Minnesota. The fuck? We're doing a Canada map. A Canada. Canada. Not throwing Minnesota there. So, and that was Adopt a Highway program. Which means it wasn't in Canada. It was in the United States. So, thinking about that now, maybe anytime we see an Adopt a Highway sign, we know we're in the United States. But how the fuck does a Canada map throw in Minnesota? And how did I not tell the difference? God, man. Fuck. Alright. Well, this is definitely a better looking part of Canada. It's got a lot more cars. We got some mountains in the background, some sides. Wow. That's gonna piss me the fuck off. How are you going to make... This is a user-made map. How are you going to make a Canada map? Canada. And throw in some states like Minnesota. The fuck, man? That's just not right. I didn't play the United States and Canada map. I picked 250,000 locations by hand for Canada. But good on you for figuring out that it wasn't Canada. I was not as lucky, but you know what? Shit happens sometimes, especially when you're not expecting to be in the United States. You know, so I'm not too surprised. But Canada, oh Canada, I don't know your anthem, but I do know that I love your sport, which is hockey. Now, are you guys hockey fans? I fucking hope so, man. Hockey is so much fun. I love watching hockey. Now, I know the most popular sport in the world is soccer, as most people call it, football. What's your favorite team? Hit me with that. Alternative route north via highways 2 and 8. Full tourist amenities. I've never heard of Carcross. Just throwing that out there. But it said historic. Come and visit Atlin. So we're over by Atlin. I got 5 seconds. Canada, oh Canada. Where out thou, Canada? Alright, so we got 79 points because I literally just fucking guessed. But not bad. Not bad at all. 10,000 points. That fucking Minnesota one, that one fucking pissed me off. Those territories, I know nothing about them. I can't tell the difference. But we're up by Alaska at that point. It was definitely a little bit more diverse, but that Minnesota one, man, that's fucking pissing me off. Let's check everything else out. Full results. It's me and Debre. So Debre, you did good there. You did very well. If you click on mine, you can see that the only one that really fucked you up was that Ontario-Quebec one. And then 3 of them fucked me up. But, you know, good job, good job. Congratulations, congratulations. But fuck you, map creator, for throwing in Minnesota. But I do hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you all next time. Have a good rest of your day. And bye-bye.